Alright, so I guess we have started recording. This is going to be fun, as long as you guys aren't distracting me. So I should, set this to busy, but what is it going to help anyway? And we'll get rid of that. That can go away, that can go down. You can see my awesome wallpaper, I love it. And so anyway, basically we're going to be making a spray for a Raymond tracer. Now, he has linked me this image he wants to use in the spray, so let's get started. Here's my spray kit here. You can see all the finished ones here. All here. And I say my template's in here. So here's the template for the shadow. The shadow is, when it loads, the shadow is basically the, it goes behind the spray and makes it stand out and look really nice when it's all done, yeah. And that's pretty simple. Then there's the template itself, and that is a vector file, an SVG, and basically it just has the dimensions of the vector and the AuB logo, as you can see here. So anyway, here we have the template. So first thing I want to do is, well, actually I've got to download a Lara's cutie mark. So we'll do that now. If I don't get chat distracting me, blah blah. Now I can't remember what I was doing. Okay. Now well, I guess you could call it, it's not really a vector, it's more like the illustration that Raymond's chosen isn't quite the best to use for the spray. I tend to use vectors for the spray, so what I'm going to have to do is open this in paint.net and try and trim Lyra out of this white background, because this is a JPEG and it's not transparent, which is annoying. So we'll open that, paint.net. Patience, patience. Come on, computer. This is always fun, waiting for my computer to load. And we'll save that as Lyra Raymond as a PNG. Okay, so we'll grab a hold of, don't want to update paint.net. Everything happens while I'm trying to do something. What did it select? Okay, oh, okay. Smartly it finds the outlines. So what I want to do is select the outside. Oh, well, did you look at that? It works quite well. Okay. It makes life easier when stuff works well. We'll just get rid of that and that. And then we have it. We have a transparent Lyra. And we have an update for paint.net. That's always helpful. Okay, so let's begin. First we'll start by inserting the cutie mark, because that goes right at the back, so it's good to start with the back and work your way up. Just, makes life easier. Embed the photo. Okay. And all you do is scale it, just so it fits neatly, like so. Oh, by the way, I'm using Inkscape. It's quite a nice piece of software. It's generally best for making any kind of vector, but it's good for compiling things like these sprays because it uses layering and all that sort of thing. And then we have Lyra. And that's where the problems come in when you start messing around with layering. It gets difficult to try and work out whether you want the pony behind or in front of the AuB. I think I'm going to go in front for this one. Try and get most of it in there without trying to make Lara look too small. That looks good. Okay, then we'll work with a fill. Basically for the background fill I tend to go for a colour that complements the colour of the pony. So it'll be a turquoisey sort of colour for Lyra. And then we go fill. So then you want to send that to the back. Then all you do is just play around with, you know, red, green and blue till you get a desirable colour. I think that looks pretty good. The more you play with it, the better it ends up being. Okay. Next up we have the logo itself. What we have to do for that is do an outline, and it's already white. Actually, yes, I like having the black outline. They tend to look a lot better compared to the first few I showed based off of Tef's design. The writing tends to stand out a lot better when it has a black outline, and I tend to go 1.5 pixels wide on that. And it looks just magnificent. Magnificent, such a funny word. It's just fabulous. That'll do. It's always good to just keep messing around. And yeah, the font I tend to use is either Gill Sans MT or TW Sans MT. They tend to look pretty similar to the original font that Teflon used, which I can't seem to get a hold of because it doesn't exist. So we'll put caps lock on, Raymond Tracer. Obviously it's too big. Oops, and that failed. That failed again. Okay, that was enjoyable. What did I change? Okay, well, I better save that before I have any, you know, file issues. So Raymond, turn caps lock off, Raymond Tracer. We'll try this again. Raymond Tracer. Right. And I tend to go also with that font bold, then the same colouring, so it's white fill with a black outline. That black outline is 1.5 pixels. No, not 15 pixels, that looks very stupid. 1.5 pixels. And that pretty much covers it. Just play around with the positioning a little bit more, get it just right. So it's good to get the best sort of positioning. Stretch that out a little bit more. And there you have it. There's one pretty much completed spray. All that's left now is to render it as a bitmap. It's pretty straightforward. You just select this rectangle here, which is 504 by 504 pixels, and we save that as random tracer. Export. And all we do now is save that. Then net wants to install its update. All we do now is open we need to open this. I have to wait for Paint.net to finish installing. Probably gonna have to cut the video off here. I'll be right back. Okay, now that Paint.net has finally finished updating, which is kind of annoying since it never usually updates and it just has to update right in the middle of making all this, I can now open this in Paint.net and open that. And all we do now is first we crop this down to get rid of the red line around the outside. Simply go into canvas size, set that at 502. Fail at typing 502, and that'll crop that. Then we save that. Click OK. Control A, Control C, and close that down. Control V. We zoom in a little bit. If we get the right tool selected, we just drag that until it fits into place. Like that. Deselect, and we save that as the completed spray. And there we go. There's a completed PNG version of the spray. Last thing we have to do is to convert it into a VTF file, which is probably the easiest part. What we have to do is open VTFEdit, import file. Please choose the file, which would be that. Then you get an option with a whole heap of complicated settings. You just click OK. The only bits you have to select is no map and no level of detail. Basically this makes the spray look full quality no matter what kind of texture settings you use in the game you're playing. Then all you do is save. Also, before you save, you have to make sure it has auto create VMT file turned on. That way it creates both files when you save it. And you save it as the desired file name. Save, and it's that easy. There's the VMT and VTF files ready to put into your game. Alright, thank you for watching my very long and boring lame video. I hope you enjoyed it, and ponies.